Welcome to the Pin Leader Podcast, where strategic leaders get straight to the topics, strengthening our awareness and sharpening our minds. The Pin Leader Podcast is produced by Roar, a production division of Mays & Associates Ltd. Find out more at www.maysassociatesltd.com. Now here is your award-winning host, Dr. Shanda Gore.
Hello, and welcome to a PinPoint Moment edition of the Pin Leader Podcast. Fruit-bearing appointments is the name of our podcast today, and I am going to share some statistics on goal setting, reflections on how you can make them work for you, and an approach to moving forward when you feel stuck where you are. It is my pleasure to have you on this journey, and on behalf of our Pin Leader Podcast producers and staff at Mays & Associates, we appreciate you as a consistent listener and watcher of our special videos that come out, and of course, our sponsors. So without delay, let's explore. I'm going to start off with some statistics to help kind of round this discussion out. People who explicitly make resolutions are 10 times more likely to attain their goals than people who don't. And so for those out there thinking, am I going to be doing New Year's resolutions? Do they make sense? I've read that they don't make sense. You have to have some kind of goal, whatever that is. If you want to call it a resolution, you can. But I do see, and this is something that is explicit, that it needs to be stated and hopefully written down, or whatever your goals are, because that serves that number. Now, many New Year's resolutions are short-lived. 25% quit within the first week. And that's something that comes through HQHire.com, as well as a number of other resources that are talking about that it is very short-lived. And approximately 80% of any New Year's resolutions fails by the second week of February. So only 8% of people who make New Year's resolutions actually achieve them, according to traditional research. And this is the number out of all the numbers that I really want you to pay attention to, because your goal should be the 8% to make it to the end of the year, whatever that goal is. All right. And just know that there's pathways to getting there. Having a specific appointment with an accountability partner increases your success to be part of that 8% by 95%. So just think, there are pathways to being able to get to your goals, whatever those goals are. There is a fear of failure, and that usually stops individuals from really going and pursuing what they want to do and how they want to do it. The fear of potentially even being rejected, and maybe you need another accountability partner who can help you with that. But you have really got to be able to make the choice to come over the fear. We do have a way. I know with our company, we have an accountability that's built into our main intelligence network during our executive sessions. You set goals, we talk about where we are with those goals, and the accountability is key. But taking a moment to reflect on your last 3 goals, if you just stay with me for a moment, if you can't think of what those last 3 goals are, then they are not documented well. Part of successful goal setting means that you have a path to accomplish the goal. Here's the thing. Are you thinking about going into business for yourself? Are you trying to increase your sales or number of clients in your office as part of a larger organization? Are you struggling on how your work is making a difference? Pausing to think and reflect is part of this process. As I say in my best-selling book, The Pin Leader Path, Identify, Engage, and Develop Effective Human and AI Leadership for Your Organizational Culture, a goal is like a seed that has been planted. Taking action toward the goal is similar to watering the seed so it will grow. When it's well tended, your goals, like the seed, will bear the fruits of opportunity. So I'm always talking about setting a goal to invest in yourself and in those that you lead. You have to put the time in, and there's enough financial commitment that you need to do to make sure that you make it there. So let's go back to this accountability partner. So we can get, again, to that 95% completion and be part of that 8% toward that end of the year. So we've made a goal. I get asked, how am I getting to where I've done, and how am I getting what I'm doing completed? Well, it's not by mistake. It is with prayer, faith, and intentionality of what outcomes I want to have, but it's also with a plan. However, when we get stuck, which all of us do, what do we do? Outside forces seem to interfere with what we think our outcomes was supposed to be. And I'm now speaking to those who were on a trajectory that seemed positive, but then interference played a part that either derailed the plan partly or completely. As a number of people know, my leadership philosophy is to focus on the pivot. We've all been there. However, the most successful are those that take the time to figure out there's an obstacle, maybe a blessing in disguise. From observations, trainings with more than 24,000 individuals over 20 years, and my own personal experiences, the best outcome beyond what I would have foreseen was on the other side of that pivot. That means how you manage the change, whatever that change is, sets you for the next level in a season of success. Now, I want to be very clear about this. Some of the pivots may be unwanted, but what I would want for you is to expect at any time that change will play a part and you will manage it. Don't allow it to manage you. So, what are the steps we can take right now? Number one, I'm inviting you to join the main tier. It's free to be part of a community of other individuals looking for sharpening their leadership and strategy while scaling whatever ventures they're in. If not the main tier or the main connect or executive session, join a group or get with someone that does professional development. You want to be part of the 8%. Remember, I'm going back to that critical number to meet your goal. That means by keeping appointments that talk to what your goals are. Number two, if yearly goals are intimidating, think of scaling in 90-day goal batches, planting little seeds to start. This way you can celebrate short-term wins and still make progress. Water that seed. Celebrate when something appears, because something will appear if you're consistent and if you're tracking it. And remember, number three, for each goal, there are action steps to get there. And each goal has to have a measurement. Now, this is something that I do talk with a number of groups about of how do you measure your goals? Percentages and numbers and consistency matters. So those are the three, but take the first steps. Remember, you can ask AI to help you. For those sitting out there going, oh, I got AI, I'll just have them write my goals out. However, AI is not going to know your business like you do. And even if you feed it everything about your business or goals, it is only going to pull from what it knows. Some good and some bad information. Get with those that do strategic planning and get to trusted sources. That will help build for an effective pivot. It has truly been my pleasure to provide you some pinpoint moments here, and I hope to see you in the main tier, in Connect, or an executive session. We're here to support you, and we know that you are going to do great things. I'd also like to thank our sponsor, to J. Foster Jewelers, family owned, offering the finest natural gemstones, stunning engagement rings, and brilliant diamonds. We appreciate you. So go out and make this the best year ever. Until next time.
The Pen Leader podcast is hosted by Dr. Shanda Gore and brought to you by Mays & Associates LTD, creating customized solutions for growth in the areas of leadership development, strategic planning, and culture building. Find out more at www.maysassociatesltd.com. Don't forget to subscribe to the Pen Leader podcast and share with others.